Hello, welcome to today's yoga flow. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. We're just gonna have an everything back bend, twisting, strengthening yoga practice today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started in a hero's pose. So sitting back on your heels towards the back of the mat. We'll find our center here. So maybe placing a hand on the stomach, a hand on the heart, maybe opening your palms up on your knees, whatever feels comfortable for you today. And we'll find our breath, welcoming a deep inhale, expanding into the belly, into the rib cage, and into the chest. Fill as much oxygen as possible into your lungs before slowly exhaling from the chest, the ribs, and the belly. Maybe coming to sit a little bit taller. Maybe noticing your shoulders, the relaxation of your face, and starting to deepen, lengthen each breath. Just letting everything fade away for this practice. For this next 45 minutes or so, it's just you and the mat. And no matter how the practice goes, know that you're in the right place at the right time. And you can always add modifications to make any of these poses more accessible to you throughout the practice. Just accepting where we're at today and thanking yourself for being here. We'll release the hands by our sides. A deep inhale will sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, we'll bend the elbows 90 degrees, squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows behind you as you open the chest, maybe lift the chin. And exhale, bring forearms together as you hollow out the back. Rounding through the spine. Beautiful. We'll interlace the palms, hands, push the palms outward, lift the palms overhead. And take a side bend to the left. Maybe gaze up, back through center. We take a side bend to the right, back through center. And we'll release the elbows again into a cactus. Open the chest here, lift the chin, squeeze the shoulder blades. And then exhale, sweep the arms in front, round through the back. Tucking the chin in towards the chest. We interlace the hands, pull the palms up towards the sky, and take a side bend to the left. Back through center, and a side bend to the right. Back through center, releasing the arms and maybe just rounding through the shoulders a few times, rolling them out. We'll release through center, tuck the toes behind you, feeling a nice calf stretch here. We'll interlace the hands and just round into the wrist, rolling the wrist out. And we're stretching into the feet here. Switching direction of your wrist roll. And we'll release the hands. The right hand is going to come to the right heel, ankle, and we're going to send the hips forward. Reach the left arm overhead. Take a half camel. You don't want to shine that chest towards the ceiling, so maybe even kind of square the shoulders out here. Deep inhale and exhale, release hips to heels. The left hand comes towards the left ankle. We again lift the hips, bend the back, reach the right arm overhead, and maybe even turn the shoulders to square out a bit more. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, release the hips down. We're going to come to standing on our knees. We'll start with the right leg, stepping the right foot forward and sinking the hips into a low lunge. Maybe reaching arms overhead. We're going to take a side bend here. So left hand will ground, the right arm reaches into the side bend. Coming back through center, we'll take it the other way. Right hand grounds, left arm goes overhead. Taking the hands to frame the foot, we'll push the hips back, straighten through the front leg, flex the front toes, finding a half split here. Feeling the left hip draw forward. Inhales, lengthen the spine. And your exhales release you deeper into the fold. On the next inhale, lengthening, we'll walk our hands back and start sitting back onto our sit bones. If you have any knee contradictions, you can just sit right back onto the left heel, or you can push that left heel outside the left hip, sitting both sit bones on the ground. We're going to come to walk the hands backwards and maybe lean back into a half hero's stretch. So really feeling this into your left quad, maybe even squeezing your left glute to feel the stretch a bit deeper. We'll come all the way up, sitting up. The left knee is going to come out to the side. So the left knee is going to come out in line with the hip, a 90-degree bend in the knee, and we'll take a fold over the right extended leg. Feeling this into your right hamstring here. Inhaling up, drawing the left knee back in. We'll come to sit up on the knee, walk the hands forward, and we're going to sweep the right leg back behind us. So we're in a tabletop with the right leg extended. Bending the right leg, the left hand sweeps behind, grabs a hold. And here we go for a tiger pose, kicking the right hand into the left. Maybe a gentle back bend, gazing forward. And if it's not accessible for you, that's okay. Just reaching the hand towards the foot. It's definitely enough of the work. We'll release this right foot and knee down, coming into tabletop, and then standing back onto our knees. We'll take it to the other side. The left foot steps forward. We'll sink the hips down. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Right hand grounds as the left arm reaches into a side bend. Inhaling, arms overhead, left hand grounds, right arm reaches overhead. We'll come back through center, hands framing the front foot. Push the hips back, straighten the front leg, flex the toes, half split. Really feeling into the hamstrings here. And again, on the inhales, we lengthen. Feel that cow sensation of the chest pulling forward, the hips sticking out. Gently walking the hands backwards, sitting the sit bones down on the heel or inside the heel. We're going to walk the hands back into a half hero's pose. So maybe on your forearms, maybe you lay all the way back. Just trying to get a sensation into the front right quadricep. We'll slowly walk the hands forward, lifting up through the torso, taking this right knee out in line with the hips, maybe bending and flexing this right foot 90 degrees as we fold over the extended left leg. Inhaling forward, we'll draw the right knee in, start to sit up, walking the hands forward, planting the hands to frame the front foot. We'll sweep the left foot back behind, back into our tabletop, left leg extended out. And once you find your balance here, maybe try bending into the left knee. The right hand takes a hold of the left foot or ankle, and we kick the foot back into the hand as we open into tiger pose. A deep inhale here, and exhale, release into tabletop. We'll bring our big toes together, maybe spread the knees apart a bit more. Sit the hips back to the heels, coming into a child's pose. Really reaching those fingertips forward. Feel a stretch through the back. We're going to start with some body waves, some rolls to cobra from child's pose. So inhaling, maybe rounding through the spine, dropping the hips forward, and then opening the chest. And then we'll take the hips leading backwards, kind of dropping the belly, opening the chest as you come back. You don't have to go the full wave to cobra or child's. You can kind of take some short spinal waves here, really trying to get into the undulation of each spine, of each vertebrae. And eventually coming to drop the pelvis, squeezing the glutes. We find a cobra pose. A nice back bend here, drawing the shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe squeezing the shoulder blades in the back. You can also bend into the elbows a bit more if it's a bit deep of a back bend for you. Inhale, expand. Exhale, we'll tuck the back toes, lift the hips, find our downward facing dog. Maybe turning the fingertips out a bit so index fingers are parallel to each other, taking those shoulders back into their place. So your heart is open here. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Really want to stick the hips up as high as you can. Maybe walk the dog. Our first downward dog of the practice. We'll relish in it with a deep breath, inhaling into the belly. And a slow exhale, maybe open mouth. The inhale, we'll lift the heels, bend the knees. We're going to step our feet to the top of the mat. Keeping a generous bend in the knees, releasing the upper body all the way over into a dangling pose. Let the head hang, let the shoulders hang. Maybe you can sway. The inhale will straighten the legs, hands to shins, straighten spine, halfway lengthen. Exhale, full forward fold. Maybe even taking your hands behind the calves, ankles, pulling yourself a little bit closer. And then we'll inhale, bend the knees, round through the spine as we rise all the way up to standing, reaching arms overhead, gaze up. And exhale, hands by your side. We're going to warm up with some sun salutations from here. So planting the feet, finding a strong mountain pose, confidence, taking up space. We'll inhale, reach arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, long spine, halfway lengthen. Exhale, we plant the hands, step the feet back into plank. Inhaling as you lengthen. And exhaling, we'll bend into the elbows, tucking them into the side. Take a chaturanga. You can drop the knees, drop the chest if you'd like. We inhale, push the chest forward and up into our upward facing dog. And exhale, push the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll take 2 cleansing breaths here. A deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. Once more, deeply inhaling. And exhale. Inhale, lifting the heels, bending the knees, stepping your way or floating your way up to your hands. We release into a forward fold. Before inhale, rising all the way up to standing, arms overhead. And exhale, releasing hands to heart center or by your side. Once again, grounding through the feet. Inhale, rising arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, hinge forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Taking the curve out of the low back, tucking the pelvis. We'll exhale, release the hand, step it back into plank. The inhale lengthens. Exhale, lowers chaturanga. Inhaling, pull the chest forward and up, squeeze the glutes to protect the low back. And exhale, push it up and back, downward facing dog. Another 2 deep cleansing breaths here. Inhaling. Audible exhale, let it go. Another deep inhale. You can always visualize beautiful bright lights coming in on the inhale. And exhale. We'll lift the heels, bend the knees. Hop, step, float your feet up to your hands, releasing into a forward fold. Before inhale, rising all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, release, mountain pose. Once more, inhaling, arms overhead, gaze up. Releasing into a forward fold. Inhale, hands to shin, straight spine, halfway lengthen. Exhale, we plant the hands, step the feet back into our plank. Inhale, lengthens. Exhale, for chaturanga, you're going to want to feel yourself shift forward before bending the elbows 90 degrees. Inhaling up into our upward facing dog, maybe cobra. Before exhaling, actually, we're going to stick down into our cobra. So just maybe dropping the pelvis here. We're going to release the chest all the way down. Perfect. So we'll press back up into a cobra. So lifting the chest, find your back bend. Feel the pelvis, tops of the feet pressing into the mat. We'll turn our gaze to the left. Turn the gaze to the right. Turn the gaze back to the left. We're going to roll onto our right hip from here. The left foot comes behind the right calf or leg, and we just press the hips up, turning the hips and chest towards the ceiling as you reach the left arm overhead. And then coming to square the shoulder right over the wrist, we're going to take the left leg on top of right. Try to find a side plank here. Maybe bending into the left knee, drawing the foot in closer to you. We'll pivot on the right foot and place that left foot towards the top of the mat. And we're going to pivot all the way with the right foot into our warrior two, sweeping the arms up overhead, parallel to the ground, a deep bend in the front right leg, left leg. Gaze over the front fingertips. Try to get really low here, tucking into the pelvis. Right arm scans down the back leg, left arm reaches overhead. Reverse your warrior. And the left forearm comes down onto the front thigh as the right arm reaches overhead for a side angle. Gazing up under the armpit. Beautiful. Maybe going a little bit deeper, you can drop the left hand inside of the left foot, if you like. From here, we come into Skandasana, so dropping the hips towards this left heel, and then turning the right toes and knees up towards the sky. We sit in a low side lunge. Beautiful. Maybe trying to challenge the balance by lifting the hands. And we'll drop the hands, pivot the back foot, bending deep into the front leg. We rise up into our high lunge. Inhale, really reaching arms high, strong through the legs. We'll lean forward, start to shift the weight into the front left leg as the back knee draws up. And we take a half mountain pose. You can hug the knee in towards you. And this is a little bit of a balancing challenge we'll go through here. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh, sit the hips back into our standing pigeon. Trying to sit as low as you can. Inhale, rising, grabbing a hold of this right knee. You can stay here in this balance or even extend the leg all the way straight. We'll take hands to hips, hold here. And sweep the leg behind you. We'll ground through the hands, coming into an assisted warrior three. We're going to find some shrimp squats here. The back knee comes into the front left knee as we bend both and extend back out into warrior three. We'll go for three more here, bending both knees, drawing the back knee in and extending back out into warrior three. Bending in, really strong on the left leg. We'll extend back out. Bending both knees in. One more time here. We'll extend back out. Gracefully landing this right foot behind you, finding a high lunge. Once again, the right hand can stay grounded as the left arm reaches up. We find a dragonfly twist. And we'll come to sweep the left leg into a side plank. And maybe even stepping the left foot behind the right as we lift back into our wild thing. And dropping the hips here. We'll release the left hand to the mat, squaring the hips out. We find our cobra. And release the chest down. Beautiful. Let's go for it on the other side. Inhaling, lifting the chest. Find your cobra nice and strong. We'll look to the right. Look to the left. Look to the right, roll onto the left hip. The right foot comes behind the left. As we press up the hips, take a back bend, wild thing, reaching the right hand to the top of the mat. Inhale. And exhale, we'll come into a side plank. So kind of just squaring out the hips. Find the right leg on top of the left. A nice strong side plank here. Bending into the right knee. We're going to step the right foot forward As we pivot all the way into our warrior two, back heel will ground. So our hips are opening towards the long side of the mat. We sweep the arms up into a warrior two. Beautiful. Find your nice, beautiful posture here. Strong. A deep bend into the front knee. Left hand draws back, right hand draws overhead, peaceful warrior. The right forearm comes down onto the front leg, and the back arm reaches overhead for a side angle. Maybe going a little bit deeper. You could take the right hand inside the right foot. And we'll slowly release both hands down. Draw the right hip to the right ankle as we find our low skandasana side lunge. Left knee and toes turning upward. Beautiful. We'll plant both hands. We're going to pivot to face forwards, front of the mat into our high lunge. The front knee is bent 90 degrees, straight and active through the back leg. We reach the arms overhead. Beautiful. We're going for our balances from here. So slowly leaning forward, shifting the weight onto the front foot. We draw the back knee up towards our chest for half mountain. And we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh, sit the hips back into our standing pigeon. From here, so you can take the knee balance, standing all the way up, taking a knee out in front of you, or maybe challenging your strength, extending the leg all the way out. The extended left leg will sweep behind us. As we come parallel to the ground, maybe grounding through the hands here for our shrimp squats. Both knees bend. We come to tap back knee to touch front leg and extend back out. Tapping in, extending back out. 2 more here. We'll bend both knees, extend out. 1 more here, bend both knees, extend and it back out. Gracefully bending into the front knee as the left toes ground behind you. The left hand can stay planted, right arm reaches up into our dragonfly twist. And slowly rolling onto the left side foot. This right foot will come back into our side plank. And the right foot steps behind the left leg, shifting the hips up to the sky, chest open, reach it out. And exhale, we'll sit the hips down, ground through both hands. Find our cobra pose here. Before releasing the chest down, lying flat on the mat. Beautiful. So we're going to run through this sequence one more time, maybe speeding it up a little bit if you can manage. No worries if you miss any parts of it. So hands kind of under the shoulders. We're inhale, press, lift up into our cobra. We'll turn the gaze to the left, roll on to the right hip. The left leg plants behind the right, and we lift the hips. Find your wild thing. Lowering the hips, we find a side plank, left leg stacks on top of right. Drawing the left knee up, we step the left foot forward, and then we'll pivot all the way to our warrior two. Back heel grounds, hips are open towards the long edge, strong like a warrior. The right hand draws down the back leg, front arm reaches overhead, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm overhead. Maybe go deeper, extending the left hand down to the ground. Skandasana, hips go towards the front left heel. We turn the right toes up, side lunge. We'll plant both hands, pivot, find a high lunge here, reaching arms overhead, leaning forward, bringing this back leg and knee all the way up into a standing balance. The right ankle crosses over the left thigh as we sit the hips back into our standing pigeon. And we'll inhale, extend, maybe hands to hips. We extend the right leg out in front, holding here. Before sweeping the right leg back, turning our body parallel to the ground, we maybe ground through the hands here and do some shrimp squats. Both knees bend, back knee in, extend back out. Both knees bend, back knee in, extend back out. Two more times here, bending, feeling the power and the strength in your legs here. Trying not to put too much weight into the hands. One more. Beautiful. We'll bend into the front knee, ground through the back toes as we find a high lunge stance. The right hand grounds, the left arm reaches up into a dragonfly twist. We pivot onto the outer edge of the right foot. Find your side plank. Core strength here. The left foot will ground behind the right, and we lift the hips, bend into the back as you take a wild thing pose. Exhale, releasing the hips down, grounding through both hands, finding your cobra before releasing chest to the earth. We'll go for the other side. Inhale, extending the spine up into your cobra, turning the gaze to the right. We'll roll onto the left hip. The right foot comes behind the left leg, and we push the hips up, bending into the back, maybe just peeling that chest open to the ceiling. Wild thing. Kind of lowering out of this as you find a side plank. Find your strength. The right knee bends in. We're going to pivot, step the right foot forward, ground through the back heel as we rise all the way into a warrior two. Deep bend into the front knee, tucking the pelvis. We really feel this in the glutes. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Left hand draws back, right hand draws overhead, peaceful warrior. Exhale, right forearm to front leg. Left arm reaches overhead for side angle. Maybe we go a little bit deeper here. The right hand inside of the right foot. Inhale. And on the exhale, we'll sink the hip towards the right foot into a low skandasana side lunge. Kind of flexing through the left toes, turning the toes and knees up towards the sky. Perfect. We're going to go ahead, plant the hands towards the front of the mat, pivot the back foot into a high lunge stance. Inhale, rising into our high lunge, arms overhead. Maybe open chest here, engaging into the glutes. We hinge the body forward, lean it forward. We're going to rise this left knee up towards our chest. Maybe hugging it in if you like. And the left ankle crosses over the right thigh as we sit the hips back into our standing pigeon. Hands maybe at heart center. That's how kind of I always find the best balance in this pose. Inhaling, keeping the knee bent or extending the leg all the way straight as we take another strengthening balance here. Feel the core engaged. Feel the back not slacking. It's a nice straight spine. We'll sweep the left leg behind, grounding through the hands here. We find our assisted warrior for our shrimp squats, both knees bend, bringing the back leg in, and we extend back out for one, bending in and extending for two. See how much muscle activation you can possibly get out of this. Bring it in, extend it back out. A long spine, bring it in, extend back out. Beautiful. We're going to slowly lower the left foot down behind us. Rise into, or no, left hand will ground. Right arm reaches up. We find a dragonfly twist in our high lunge. And we'll prepare to come into our side plank, rolling onto the left side foot. And the right foot steps back, side plank. The top foot, the right foot, will step behind the left. And we're going to press and lift the hips, open the chest into our wild thing before slowly dropping the hips and coming back into our cobra pose. Inhale and exhale, release the chest down. We'll once again inhale, lift into our cobra. Push the hips back onto the heels as we find our child's pose. And here we'll just roll up through the spine, coming to stand on our knees once again. We're going to go for a full camel here. So maybe even just starting with the rib cage. If you want to push the rib cage forward and up, tucking the back toes, maybe keeping the hands from here on the low back as you push the hips forward. You can just stay here, or you can bring the hands to the heels behind you, still pushing the hips forward. Maybe let the head fall all the way back if that's okay on your neck. Finding a full camel here, we'll breathe into the heart center. Open, expansive chest. Squeezing the glutes, let it go. Exhale, we'll take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, slowly come out. We lift back up, hands to the low back, releasing the hips down onto the heels, resting the forehead on the mat. We find our child's pose. We're going to counter with a rabbit pose. So if you would like to flex through the toes here, keeping your forehead on the mat, we're going to reach our hands back to grab around the bottoms of the feet. And on the inhale, we'll slowly lift the hips. Maybe you come on to the very top of your head. You want to keep your hands there so it really pulls the shoulder blades apart, rounding through the spine. You can adjust your head too to be more on top, on the very tippy top of it as you lift the hips. We find rabbit pose. Exhale, releasing the hips to the heels, undoing the feet, relaxing into your child's. We'll slowly walk the hands in, sitting all the way up. You can bring your hips to the ground, your feet in front of you. We'll take a nice seated forward fold from here, so extending the legs out, maybe flexing the toes, sitting nice and tall. Inhaling, arms overhead, gazing up. And then exhale, you're going to really reach forward. We're trying to reach the belly towards the thighs. So trying to keep a really long spine here. If you have to bend into the knees, that's perfectly okay. You still get the hamstring stretch. Open your heart center. The inhale will lengthen the spine even more. And the exhale pushes you deeper into the fold. We'll sit it all the way up, planting the hands behind the hips, fingers pointing backwards. We're just going to counter this with a reverse plank, lifting the hips up, maybe letting the head fall back. And exhale, release the hips, We'll come to lie all the way down onto our backs, hugging the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a nice rock from side to side. And we'll take a happy baby. So taking the arms inside the knees and grabbing outside of the feet. You can also grab inside of the ankles if you'd like, or just grab the ankles. We're going to extend the legs out. The knees are coming towards your armpits. So still feeling a deep bend in the knee here. Drawing the knee towards the ground. Maybe giving yourself a little rock side to side. You can extend one leg, extend the other leg. You can play around. You're a happy baby. You can feel a playful inner child kind of shine through here if you like. And we'll release the feet, hugging the knees in towards the chest. The right leg will extend as the left knee hugs in. We'll take our twist. Left arm out to the side. The left leg crosses all the way over into a nice deep spinal twist. Trying to keep both shoulders grounded as we reach the left knee towards the ground. Maybe turning the gaze towards the left here. And we're breathing into the belly. The inhales expand the belly out. And the inhales draw the belly button back in towards the spine. Feel yourself twist a little bit deeper. We'll take a couple more cleansing breaths here. On your next exhale, slowly releasing back through center, hugging the right knee in. We extend the left leg out, drawing the right leg over and across to the other side. Reach the right arm away. Turn the gaze to the right. Find your spinal twist on the other side. Maybe noticing how this side feels a little bit different from the other side. If you're able to twist as deep, then bringing your awareness to the breath, the sensations of the breath, the inhale, expanding the belly. And the exhale, drawing the belly in, twisting a little bit more. On your next exhale, we'll slowly unravel here, coming back through center, hugging both knees in. We'll give ourselves a tight hug, maybe lifting forehead to the knees, tucking the chest, chin in towards the chest, squeezing your body, giving yourself so much love and gratitude. We'll slowly unravel, extending the legs and extending the arms by your side, palms facing up. Welcoming our final posture of Shavasana, complete relaxation, knowing that you just put a lot of focused attention and beautiful work, breath work into this practice today. You deserve this. Let the practice integrate. Let yourself process. Allowing your face to become soft, your breath to become a natural rhythm. Letting yourself be really heavy into the mat here. I will leave you off in the Shavasana for today. I thank you so much for joining me today. The light in me honors the light in you, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and weekend. I hope to flow with you again sometime. May all the peace be with you. Thank you